The exhibit in general, it's called Shadow Keepers and Root Healers, and it is a homage, an Afrofuturistic altar to the African Orisha of the Yoruba faith in West Africa. And also it shouts out the ancestors that have transformed and held together the African diaspora all over the world. I actually had a conversation with a friend who is very dear to me, and we were talking about African spirituality. And, you know, I was like, yeah, I guess in this world you don't really see a lot of altars in public places. And so wouldn't it be really cool to create an altar kind of experience where people can come to seek refuge, to pray, to talk, to meditate, to do whatever. And within the African diaspora, I'm connecting my roots to my family from West Africa. And so just, it was a whole loaded theme and connection to my own ancestry that made it possible for this. So this is the Shadow Keepers side. So the Yoruba, the Orisha side of things. Think of Shadow Keepers like as shadow work. If you think about the spiritual practice of shadow work, all those unclean or unkept things about yourself, like this is a place to like let go of those. So this is Obatala. Obatala is amazing. If you think about the Christian church, it's almost like the Son of God. But Obatala basically is genderless, so you can create depictions of Obatala as a female or as masculine. So I chose to focus on the feminine. And then I have Orunmila. He is the Orisha of wisdom and prophecy, so he can kind of tell your future. And so he has his divination plate where it's an African system of kind of reading cards, but it's done by this intricate numerology system that they have. And then on the other side, I have Olukun. Olukun is the Orisha of deep dark water, so she rules over all the other water Orisha. There are so many in the faith, like Yemaya, that's a more famous one. She was one of the first ones to actually come about, and she was around, said to be around during the time of the transatlantic slave trade. So when a lot of Africans died at sea, she was the one to kind of comfort their souls and to give them refuge. This is an altar, so when you think about an altar, it's like a gift or an offering. So each of them have things in the human life that they actually like to partake in or just appreciate aesthetically. So Olukun loves sunflowers and all types of fruit. So when people are actually giving her an offering, they give it to her in the sea. They offer her fruit and different things, sunflowers in the water, in hopes that she would give them good blessings. And Obatala eggs is important, coconut, white candle for her, sandalwood, just beautiful white flowers. Anything white or silver is like her color, like she loves that color, it makes her feel vibrant and connected. And then Orunmila, he loves cake, he loves sweet stuff, so I got him a piece of cake and anything like green or yellow. And then their bodies, obviously they're made of cowrie shells, which are indigenous to West Africa. They used to be currency, like back then, like way hundreds of years ago, like people would trade, just like they would do gold or any kind of money. So this is the second case, which is the root healers, or the ancestral folks, the mortal folks. As you can see, this is Mama Ubuntu. Ubuntu means humanness in South Africa. And I literally like put on her belt like Africans from all over the globe who've just made their mark in history around the world. So Marielle Franco, she's from Cuba. She died very horribly, but she was all about Afro-Cuban struggle and just acknowledging the fact that, you know, she's of African descent. And Zora Neale Hurston's, and there's so many. I just feel like it's so perfect that they're kind of surrounding her belt and like hanging, you know, around her, just surrounding her and beautifying her outfit. And this is Zena. So Zena is one of the first ones I actually ever did back in 2015. It was a part of a series I did called African Face, autochthonous blood and bone. And she has pieces of my hair in it, actually, like my first set of dreadlocks. So it's like throughout, if you actually look at her hair, like it's like pieces of my actual hair. So most of those pieces, African face was like identity pieces, and like appreciating African beauty and like aesthetics. Like, what does that mean for me to appreciate that, looking in the mirror? And then some of the other items that you'll see are altar items. I actually have an altar in my home for my ancestors. I have their pictures and things like that. Another thing that's popular or appropriate is to have a white candle for ancestors that have passed away, and to have water as the fluidity and just to allow them to guide through. This is my egungun, which is keeper of the ancestor. That's probably one of my favorite pieces I actually made. The hardest piece that I made, but it was my favorite. And then I guess we can go around to Bayaha and Asausa. So Bayaha means water, and then Asausa means it's raining. So they all have like water elements to them. And again, like Olokun, we talked about in the first one, just that water energy, ancestors that kind of didn't make it through, you know, where were they at in the sea? And like, so I feel like these faces kind of embody some parts of that for me. And also they reflect pieces of myself, you know, like how I might envision myself older, futuristically. They all have some kind of futuristic element to them, Afrofuturistic element to them that I wanted to kind of capture. Feels really good to have it here, that's for sure.